Alright guys, well we're out here again today working on the Blazer, trying to get some more progress done. We've got the motor taken back out. We had to take the pan off because it was a stock style Camaro pan that came on the engine when I got it. I was going to just try and modify it and make it work for the application. But after a bit of customizing and trying to make some space for test fitting purposes, the pickup was in a bad location, resting against the inside of the pan here, and I couldn't move it any farther back where I needed to make some more clearance. So that's not going to work. So we have got us a nice pan from Canton, made for the four-wheel drive Blazer swap for small block Chevy. So hopefully this gives us a little better luck with fitment and gets the job done. We also had to get a new pickup for that pan, obviously, so we went ahead and got that installed on there, ready to go. We're going to go ahead and throw these gaskets and pan on it, and then we're going to try putting it back in here. We'll see how it goes. Well, we got the pan on there. Looks really good. Fits nice. We'll go ahead and get this all flipped around, get it hooked back up on the cherry picker, and we'll try and test this baby out. Well, she's in there. Looks pretty good in there. Fits pretty decent. It's a little close to the firewall, which doesn't surprise me. Sits up pretty high right now. We actually have two slot adjustments in our motor mount. So to fit the transmission in the tunnel a little better and get everything kind of down in place, we're gonna go ahead and drop it down one hole, but this is where we're gonna stop for tonight. So when we pick it back up, we'll go ahead and show you guys some more. Alright guys, well, trying to pick up basically where we left off last time. We're out here trying to get the drivetrain put in the Blazer. Well, we got it accomplished. Got the motor in there. Everything fit pretty good. It wasn't too hard to get in there. Took a little modifying of some stuff to make it fit nice, but it does fit with the aftermarket mounts. And we also managed to get the transmission and transfer case and cross member in it. So now that we got all that stuff put in there, I'm gonna go ahead and get the converter bolted up to the flywheel, and we'll go from there. I'm gonna go make me some hardware real quick. Don't have the right bolts, so we'll just make them. Now we got the bolts the size that we need. We can go ahead and try and install those. Now on this particular application, our converter spacing is a little too large from our pad surface. It's about double what we actually want right now. So just to make the spacing difference, I'm just gonna use some grade 8 washers. They'll work just fine for what we're doing with it. They fit nice and tight. So we'll go ahead and get those bolts and spacers put in and we'll get back with you. Alright, well, we got the bolts and the spacers in there. They all fit in there nice. Check the end plate and it is correct now. So should be good to go on that. Alright, next thing we're going to have to try and figure out here is the drive shaft situation. The two on the right side are what came out of the Blazer originally when I pulled everything apart. And the two on the left are out of the donor truck we got the new trans and T-case out of. So we're gonna have to do a little mix and matching on the front for sure. Not sure if we can make that work or not. And then the rear, I'm sure will have to be modified for length, but we'll see what we can figure out. We'll take a look. All right, so after a little bit of test fitting, it looks like the factory drive shaft on the front that came out of the S-10 Blazer will work still lengthwise, should fit nice. Have to take this rear flange piece off that fits the transfer case and install it onto this shaft. Be a little bit customized and make that happen, not a big deal. And then the two rear drive shafts, surprisingly enough, even the short one that came out of it originally is still too long with the new combination. So I need that input piece for the transmission, tail shaft if you will, and install it on this shorter piece most likely, or I might just cut this shaft down and use that. Not sure which one yet, but I will get that done and we will check that out when that gets done. But for now, we're going to move on to our oil filter relocation kit we've got here. On this, there's not room for an oil filter to go onto the block. One second, I'll show you. On the Blazer here, where the filter location is, by the time you get the drive shaft put in here, it would be nearly impossible to access the filter. So changing would be a big problem. Only the also problem would be if you had a tall filter or a big bodied filter, it would just not even clear plane. So we're gonna go ahead and get the relocation kit installed and fix that problem. This is the kit I got. Should work pretty good for us. The only thing I knew I was gonna change was instead of using the barbed fitting for the hose that they send, I got some NA adaptable to NA 90s. That way we can get the nice tight bend on it coming out from underneath the engine to make it routing the hoses a little easier. So go ahead and get this all put together and see what we can do. Alright, well I decided to go ahead and try and put the aftermarket header on, see how that would fit. I had to remove the steering column section to get the header in place and then put the steering column back in. Not a big deal, we got it taken care of. Had to remove a couple of the fuel lines that ran here factory, and I had to push some of the brake lines up out of the way a little bit. But again, no big deal, got that taken care of. Fits really nice, looks really good. It should be working out pretty good for us. So we'll get underneath and take a look. You can see where it exits down here. Should be all to go just between the frame and the drive shaft with this exhaust pipe is where it's going to end up coming down through. Shouldn't be too big a deal. You can see we got the housing adapter on for the oil relocation. We'll go ahead and finish running some lines for that and get that all figured out. Alright, we're out here going to get this oil cooler relocation kit all figured out. We've got the body here for the filter location. We're going to end up routing this right over here from the driver's side fender. Going to give us kind of the best location for easy access. Keep the lines up out of the way. I think I know where I'm going to go ahead and route them. So we're going to get the ends fit on all the line and start getting these things made up. filter location, secure on there, good and tight, not going anywhere. Got our fittings put in there. We're going to go ahead and run our lines down and get a fitment for length. Then we'll go ahead and cut those and get them put together. Alrighty, got us our lines made up, good to go. Now we'll go ahead and get them installed. Well, we got the lines made up and installed, looking pretty good here. Got them routed down where they look like they should be in a safe spot. We'll go down the bottom, take a look. You can see down here we have the adapter in position. Fittings are both on there nice. Have a decent bit of clearance in there. Flowing right up front, so should be good to go on that. Alright, we're back out here. We've got us our new drive shafts made. We took the original rear blazer shaft here, went ahead and had that shortened to length. Got the tail housing shaft installed there. New U-joints all around. Got the factory blazer front drive shaft with the new U-joint changed to the truck transfer case yoke. So we're good there. We're going to go ahead and get these installed in the blazer. Well, apparently the front drive shaft is too long after being modified. I gave the guy some specific measurements. It looks like it's about a ½ inch longer than it was supposed to be, and that's about how much shorter I need it to be. So I'll have to take it back to him, have him fix it up, and then we'll get it put back in. But we got the rear end. Looks pretty good. Back to the transfer case. Rear end fits nice, so no problems there. So we'll get the front one fixed up and get that installed.